Well, hey everybody, this is Cleta the Cheetah, and this is our Boss Babe call. We're doing the series It's Time. It's Time. So let me grab my book. I do have the video ready. I don't know about y'all, but I put mine in a little notebook so I can hang on to it instead of just like staple them together. And so we'll do the Bible verses for tonight first, and then we'll do our video. All right. So here we go. The Bible verse that we're gonna do. Luke, we're gonna do four of them, okay? Because it's our last week. Okay, so Luke 5:5. It says, Master, Simon replied, we worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing. But if you say so, I'll let the nets down again. All right, and if y'all remember that, when they let them down, there was so many fish in the boat, they couldn't even hardly get them in the boat. Okay. So if you've never seen the movie The Chosen, you got to watch that episode. It's unbelievable, the imagery on that. Okay. The next one, Psalms 37:23. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their life. Okay. That's a good word. All right. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong. Take courage. Some versions say, be strong. Be courageous. Don't be intimidated. This is the Message version. Don't give them a second thought because God, your God, is striding ahead of you. He's right there with you. He won't let you down and he won't leave you. That's from the Message version. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. God is not going to leave you. Okay, and the last one is Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. And that is in the NLT version. And so the New Living Translation. So I love that verse too. Run and not grow weary. Y'all, let's finish the race. It's time. Okay. So without further ado, you can go in your book and you can turn to page 24, and there's places for you to take notes on the beautiful Julia Mundy-Garner. So I will share my screen and we will get on it.
Hello, beautiful and brilliant Mary Kay consultants. We are so excited you're here. We've already begun. Next half, best half, baby, right? We are already in that final 6 months of our seminar year, and I know you are ready for it, right? It is our theme in our national area this year. My name is National Sales Director Julia Mundy-Garner, and I'm so honored to be with you today, to be sharing from my heart and just praying by the power of the Holy Spirit that you receive exactly what you need to take your next consistent several steps of faith towards creating it, because it is time for you to shine. It is time. And I'm so excited to be part of this with you. You know, my first pace setters was taught by one of Rena's first line sales directors, the impeccable and amazing Judy Stats. And we were required to be at her studio in person, dressed professionally, no later than 5 a.m., knowing that most of us would be then heading out to work from there. Can you imagine? Are you so excited that you are on a virtual Boss Babes Pace Setters instead of that? We graduated eventually to an 8 a.m. Saturday morning in-person Pace Setter. And the requirements were just as stringent because you see, for those who choose to move with God, He is never delayed. He is never wondering what he should do next, what you should do next. And that's a higher calling than someone who just wants to play in some Mary Kay, right? So I'm so excited that you and I get to have this conversation about it, because truly, again, it is your time. So as I was thinking about just remembering that pace setters experience, so it was the only one I'd ever known growing up in Mary Kay, and it required a lot of me. I will tell you, I think over all of the years of pace setters that I ever attended, I only graduated from one. I got kicked out from not getting to do my homework and having it turned in on time and having done enough of it. So I hope that you will embrace that IPA sheet that is part of this program, or if your national has one, that tracking, that consistency. Everybody can be tempted to want to put our head in the sand and hope nobody notices. But if you think about the ostrich and how cute she is, when she sticks her head in the sand, y'all, her cute little fluffy butt is still sitting up in the air for everybody to see. So we got to keep that in mind when we try to put our head in the sand. It is time to own it and take ownership of it, knowing our numbers, tracking it. What we know is what? A tracked number grows. Well, I want you to know that I might have been voted the least likely to succeed. I was so resistant in the beginning. I'm so grateful that my sales director was so patient and kind and filled with grace. Deb Miller, mwah, forever and ever, amen. Thank you for loving me and never settling for what I kept telling you was all I was capable of. How blessed and highly favored are we to have leaders who refuse to accept the limitations we seem so committed to sticking to, right? Let it be the season where we free ourselves from those shackles of limitations that no one has placed on us but ourselves, and walk fully into our calling for this season of it. It is time. So I want you to know that when I did sign my Mary Kay Beauty agreement, I asked two questions. I said, I just want to make sure I never have to have a party and I never have to have a team member. And the amazing Jim Miller's like, actually, both are true. You never have to do either. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and book 8 and hold 5 in your first 2 weeks of those parties. Then we'll never do one again. But it's really important you do that in the beginning so that your confidence muscle is super strong in both the products and your people skills. And I, in my naivete, said, oh, okay. Okay. Well, I want to be confident in the product, and I have no confidence in my people skills. So this is a great plan. So I actually booked 9 and held 9. You better believe I became the queen of coaching. If anyone agreed to be my hostess, my coaching of them was, remember all those parties you've ever held that I came to and bought something from? It doesn't matter to me if you're excited about my Mary Kay. The answer is yes. Would Tuesday or Thursday be better for you? I just need a few faces to practice on. So it was not the company's very professional script for us to use, but it got the job done, sugar. My first party was a 0. You're welcome. You can truly start at the bottom. And the great news about it is there's only one place to go, and that's up. From there, though, in the course of that next 2 weeks, I sold over $2,000. Again, proof that it's not where you start, but where you finish. And also the fact that when you have a great attitude, you literally can do everything wrong with the right attitude, like Mary Kay taught us, and it will all work out right if we have that pure heart. So I seemed committed to my no recruiting goal, and I held a facial where I sold almost $500. She bought the entire roll-up bag, and she said to me as I was packing up, we'd gone up to the car together. I'd filled her roll-up bag, given it to her, made sure she understood, remembered, what she was doing first, second, third, etc. And she said, I think I'd like to go ahead and do it. And I said, awesome. Do what? Had not shared the opportunity, of course, with my commitment to having no team members. And she said, I think I want to do what you do. And I go, oh, what I do? Like the Mary Kay thing? And she said, yes. And I go, oh, I don't know about that. like, if you want to come to the meeting on Monday, it's really far from here. But if you want to come, my director can tell you all about it, and you can make that decision. Y'all, I dropped her like a hot potato. Now, I did make sure she knew where she was going, and she did meet me at the meeting, and she did sign up, and she became a qualified team member. But clearly, it was not because I was so fabulous at convincing anyone or even talking about the opportunity. From there, of course, though, Deb Miller said, I know you didn't want any, but you have one. And if you just get two more, you'd know what to wear to the meeting every week. You'd have your red jacket, your white blouse, and your black skirt. And I was like, I'm in. If I just don't have to try to decide what skirt or dress I'm going to wear, that will provide so many solutions for me. Y'all, sometimes the reasons we do things aren't the reasons we, quote, should do them, right? Just the next step. But God knows and works with us anyways. Again, thank goodness for grace. So I began on a quest of, well, let me just see if anyone else might want to become a Mary Kay girl. And sure enough, several months later, that did happen. But I want to tell you about something that happened in between, because it's so appropriate for our topic today. I attended at that same woman, the amazing Judy Stats, first line to Rena Tarbett herself, a workshop in the back of their home in like a beautiful barn dominium type thing that she had as a training center. And she had brought in several other Tarbett sales directors to teach different classes. So I was proudly in the senior consultant class. And I was sitting on the front row so that I'd be sure to pay attention. And I had my notes all ready. And I remember because I was not feeling confident that day. I wasn't sure that I was even supposed to be in this class. My team member had already kind of done some wishy-washy situations. But I was an obedient girl, so I was in the class. Front row. And my teacher, Tarbett Sales Director Kathy Davis, looked me in the eye in front of like 30 other women and said, Julia, it is time for you to become a red jacket, to step into that. And y'all, I burst into tears. I felt so singled out. I'm sure she meant it as an affirmation, but I was mortified. Anybody else, an introvert in our screen time here together, that can relate? And I was and she's like, oh my gosh, Julia, no, I mean it in the most positive way. And I looked at her, and it was one of the first times that without me pre-thinking about it, it just came out of me. It came out of me. And I said in front of all those women to Kathy, I want it to be true. But how do you know that I'm supposed to be a red jacket? I'm not leading well, myself or my one team member. I can't, there's no evidence that I see that that's the path that I should be taking. But I would love it if that was the truth, that God wanted me to be in that position. And y'all, I'll never forget, she lowered her notebook that she was about to teach from, and she leaned over the podium and she said, that right there is why I know it is time. And she got tears in her eyes. I'm getting emotional just telling you. And she said, it is not for the chosen few. It is for the few who choose. And your heart is crying out to you to choose it. Let's move you up into red this month. And y'all, a peace came over me. I decided I would doubt my own doubts and believe in the belief that others had in me. And I would step at least into that part of my calling. It's interesting because I said we had a flip chart back in the day, and there was a picture of a red Grand Am in it. And I would always say, at every facial or party, I would say, now, this is the first free car you can earn the use of with Mary Kay, and that's one of my goals. I said it for months and months, a couple of years. I said it. No one ever asked me about it. And finally, someone said, well, how do you do that in the middle of a party? And I again said, do what? And they said, earn the use of the free car. And I was like, let me get back to you on that. So it became clear to me that even though my sales director talked about it at every meeting, I had no clue. I was affirming something I didn't even know the information about. It was time for me to become a little more educated about what the career path could offer me. So I had a phone call with the amazing Deb, and she informed me. And so I decided at that moment, sometimes we make these vows to ourselves. And I made a vow that as soon as I recruited my first star consultant, I would know it was time. It was time for me to earn the use of a free car. Well, several more months went by. The air conditioner went out in my car. My spouse decided that instead of fixing it, it would be so motivational for me to just earn a free Mary Kay one, which irritated the fire out of me. So I didn't know if really I was working to earn a free car to prove him right or wrong, but I was mad, and that was providing the fuel that I needed, right? And so lo and behold, I did what Rena Tarbert told me to do. I had a date book filled for the day I got home from seminar, as well as the week, that first week that I'd be back. And on that party that I held the day after I returned home, the hostess said to me, I think I want to do it with you. And I said, it, like the Mary Kay thing? And she said, yes. And since I've helped you fill all these orders at your car for my big party, I want to do it like you do it and get product. So what size do you think I should get for my inventory? So we went over, because I was prepared. Be prepared before opportunity knocks, right? We went over the inventory brochure. She came in as a star. That's what she chose. We wrote on pencil and eraser and calculator. We did her order right then. She went and got a money order, handed it to me, and I drove it to distribution. And as I did, I thought, well, I've been saying it. As soon as I recruit a star, I will go on target for my car. And so I called Deb and I said, I know we don't have a whole lot of the month left, but Shelly just came in as a star consultant, so I need to go ahead and get on target for my car this month. I had quick conversations with my other three, did a couple of parties for two of them, recruited another one, and away we went. Y'all, sometimes it really makes a difference what we decide we're going to do once something happens. What have you been waiting for? What did you make an agreement with yourself about that you've been waiting for something to happen instead of just grabbing it by the tails? God says that we have authority over so many things, but I found as women, what we want authority or control over are the things he says for us not to. What if this new year we decided we're going to take authority over it, meaning all the things he has said we can have authority over? Our attitude, our belief, doubting our doubts, spending time in our vision book, in our affirmations, making sure the top 5 people we're hanging around with are the cream of the crop, the best that there is, those that call us out and cause us to rise higher. Are you feeling any fear at this moment? Are you thinking, gosh, Jules, this is a lot. Like, you're speaking to me, but I'm feeling a little anxious. What if you're not feeling fear because you're afraid of doing it? What if that anxiety is simply a sign that God is inviting you higher, deeper into intimacy with Him, higher into a belief level of leading yourself well with Him, so that He can fill you to capacity, perhaps expand your capacity so that you can receive His provision? What if it is all about that? What if it is all about you acknowledging any fear or anxiety and then saying, the Lord God has given me authority over it, fear. And so therefore, I choose to lay you down and pick up that shield of faith, that belt of truth, and take my feet ready and willing to share the good news of this amazing Mary Kay opportunity far and wide to all I know, believing that as I do it, God Himself will provide for me and my needs. What if that was the decision we decided to make at this particular time? I believe it is your time to shine. I believe Mary Kay has been waiting for a leader just like you. So will you accept the challenge? Will you move from just emotionalizing and envisioning to actually speaking out, decreeing and declaring that this is the day the Lord has made? This is the season that He has appointed and anointed me to step into my calling. It is time for me to be the woman He created me to be, so that other women will rise to their full potential as well. I believe you are the women that will do it and bring millions more with you. Godspeed as you chase your God-given vision. Mwah. Love you big. Hello, beautiful.
Oh. Guys, can you just not love her? I mean, she did a director one too, and I was listening to it. I was just relaxing, and I thought I'm just going to listen to this while I'm relaxing for a few minutes, and I thought I really need to turn it on, and every single morning listen to that again, over and over and over and over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we're going to just have some chat about it. So be thinking about what stood out for you the most. But for everybody else that's on here, just want to remind you of the bingo this week is to make a post of something that Mary Kay has enriched your life, and make sure you put hashtag Mary Kay Bingo. And then the second one is to get a new customer. Okay, this is week 6 of the bingo. It goes to 9 weeks. And so you have time to do every single thing they've asked us to do. All right, so don't forget about the Mary Kay Bingo. Don't forget to register for Career Conference. And don't forget the Rise and Radiate contest. Those are the 3 big ones. And don't forget that the new products, if you did the preferred customer program, you can order it tomorrow on the 10th. If not, you can, or everybody can order on the 15th. It goes live on my shop on the 16th. Okay, so that's the Mary Kay stuff. So let me go ahead and stop this